Hi there, my name's Vince from Mr. Telephone, and today I'm going to show you 3 different fixings that could save you an awful lot of time when you're running a cable on an external wall or on a concrete ceiling above a false ceiling. Now, if you're just running a cable, for example, a telephone cable or an aerial cable, a sky cable, electrical cable, if you're just running a single cable down a wall and it's a brick wall, then often you can just use cable clips because the mortar's kind of soft, some bricks are soft, and the pin of the little nail will go nicely when you're hammering it in and you'll get a nice neat job. But if you're dealing with pebble dash, or if the wall is rendered, or even some mortar can be very, very hard, or if you're running cables above a false ceiling, on basically a concrete ceiling above the false ceiling in like an office or some fancy houses, then there's no way you're going to be able to hammer a nail into that. So you're going to have to use something else. So always go with the cable clips to begin with. And if you're running a cable and you're hammering in the cable clip and it bends, try it again. You might have been a bit unlucky. You might have just hit a tiny little stone or a bit of grit. But if you've tried it 2 or 3 times and the nail keeps on bending, there's no point in continuing. You're just going to waste your time. It's going to look awful because you're not going to get a straight line. It's going to, some of the pins are going to be bent and folded over. You're just going to waste your time. So what you need to do is you need to look into getting, get your masonry drill out, and then I'm going to show you the 3 fixings that I use, and they're really, really good. And I'm just going to explain a little bit about each one. So I'm just going to bring the camera down. Okay, so the most common one that you will be using is these little pin plugs here. Okay, so these are made by a company called Tower. So these are Tower pin plugs. You normally buy them in packs of 100. I've got in my eBay shop in packs of 50 as well. Okay, so yeah. Basically, the idea of these is like, if you can imagine, like a little wall plug. So you have to get your drill and you drill a 5mm hole using a masonry bit into your render or into your pebble dash. You then hammer this little pin plug in to the brick so it's flush. So it's flush like that. And then what you do is you then obviously have clip your cable clip onto the cable, and then you just hammer your cable clip into the pin. So when you're hammering down the wall, instead of trying to hammer this into your render or your pebble dash, you just hammer it into the pin plug, and they really do work and they really do grip. Yeah. So what I normally do is, because it can be quite hard to get a straight line when you're dealing with pebble dash and render, I normally do one fixing up the top of the house. Let's say if you're running the cable down, straight down the house, then I normally do one fixing at the very top, for example, at the eaves. And then I come down my ladder and I just put a cable clip on low down, give it a few taps just to hold it, just to see if the line looks straight. And if the line looks straight, perfect. If not, you move it about a little bit, and then drill in your next pin plug, put it in there, and then pull the cable really tight so you've got a nice straight line. Stand back, have a look at it from across the road or a few meters away to make sure that that is a nice straight line. And then what you can then do is just every hammer length, just go up, drill another hole, pop your pin plug in, pop your cable clip in. Another hammer length up, so another foot or less than a foot, drill another hole, pop your pin plug in, pop your cable clip in, and that way you get a nice straight line going up the wall. Same goes for horizontally as well. Obviously, if it's just down brickwork, normally you can go with the mortar lines, which are normally straight. So it's just a handy little thing. But these are really, really good, and they save you a huge amount of time. You'll be able to use these for telephone cable, which is generally 5mm on if you're using, like, for example, drop wire cable. But they also work if you're using aerial cable or sky cable, which is often 7mm. So these are really, really good. I did do a video about these, but they were kind of encompassed in a big video, and not many people have seen that video. So please check these out. These are pin plugs, and they really will save you a lot of time. Now, let's say if you've got a whole group of cables. So let's say now if you've got a whole group of cables to do above maybe a false ceiling, on a concrete ceiling, then these things are handy, and also these as well. Talk about these in a minute, but this one here, this is called a Fischer cable strap, and they come in 3 different sizes. And basically the idea again is you drill roughly a 6mm hole, and then let's say if you had, I've got some RG59 cable. No, sorry, this is just Siamese RG6 cable, and this is a bit of external Cat5e cable. So what you do is you drill your hole in the wall or your ceiling, whatever you're doing, and then you wrap this around it and you push this, you push the bits together and push it into the hole. So then basically it will grip like that. And it really does grip. You try to pull that out, it's very, very hard to pull out. So yeah, these save an awful lot of time again and give you a nice neat finish if you have a whole pile of cables to do and you don't really want to be doing cable clips, because when you do cable clips then the cables all have to be next to each other and they can start to take up a lot of room on the wall or on the ceiling. But if you have a group of cables, you can just get these Fischer cable straps, drill your hole with your masonry bit, slide the whole, push the bits together, slide it all in up to there, and then that will, that will stop the cables from falling down. So they're really handy to use as well. They're made by a company called Fischer. Okay, now the other thing, these are called masonry cable timeouts. Okay, and what you do with these is you see the slot in the top. The slot in the top allows you to put your cable tie through it, and then you have your whole bundle of cables in here, so you can have a huge amount of cables in here, and then you do up the cable tie onto the cables. Yeah? Obviously you've got to make sure you push it in the right way, because once you hammer these in, they're very, very hard to get out. So if you've got all your cables coming along this way, you want to make sure your cable fits in that way, your cable tie. If you were to put it in the wrong way, then your cable tie is going to be going that way and your cable is going to be going this way. But with these ones here, you drill an 8mm hole, again mason using a masonry bit on hammer, okay, and to a depth of a little bit more than the actual fixing, and these hammer right the way in to the end there, so all you have sticking out is this end bit, and these work really, really well, and they can take a lot of weight as well. So again, fit these, it's up to you depending on the weight of the cable. If you've got a load of cables in there, you'd really want to be fitting them probably every foot or so. But if there's not many cables, it depends on the neatness. Obviously if you're fitting them every like 1.5 meters, then the cables will sort of sag a bit going from mount to mount. So I normally put them in, because they're not expensive, I normally put them in about every foot or so, and then you get a really nice finish and you can get a huge amount of cables in there, and it just looks like a good professional job. So hope you found this video useful. These things really do save you a lot of time. So just a quick recap, you've got Tower pin plugs, so they're pin plugs made by a company called Tower. These are cable straps made by Fischer, and the little, sorry, they're the pin plugs, yep, cable straps. And these are masonry cable tie mounts. These are kind of generic, they're just made by loads of different people. Yeah, so they're really good. Personally, I like the pin plugs for single cables, and I do like these, because then it's up to you how many cables you put in them. Okay, if you need, I do sell the pin plugs in packs of 50 and packs of 100. Currently I don't sell these Fischer cable straps or the masonry cable ties, but what I will do is, if you go to mrtelephone.co.uk and find this video, then I will get round to putting links up to other sellers that do sell these. And yeah, get yourself a pack of them, put them in your toolbox, and they will save you a lot of time when it comes to those awkward jobs where it's a nightmare to run the cable. So yeah, I hope you found it useful. Again, that's the website, www.mrtelephone.co.uk. Thanks a lot for your time, take care, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.